How beneficial is changing your running form? Hey guys, it's JP, and I'll give my honest opinion on this question. Now, this is a topic I go over with plenty of runners and athletes. For those who have just started visiting my channel, I'm a physical therapist whose clinical expertise lies in improving performance and managing injuries with endurance athletes, especially runners. Now, in terms of this specific question, it definitely depends on the context, but for today, let's talk about it in terms of risk of injury. Many people talk about fixing running form to prevent injury, but is that really true? Looking at the research, simply changing running form has not shown to reduce risk of running-related injuries. Now, why is that? Well, the first question I'd ask myself is, what constitutes optimal running form? After watching plenty of people run, you will see a variety of running patterns, including at the elite level. Based on this, you may come to the conclusion that maybe there is no ideal general running style, but maybe there is one that's optimal for the individual. Sticking to elites or any dedicated runner, typically their body has adapted to the way they run. This can be pretty much derived from the basic principle of Wolff's Law, which states that bones grow and remodel in response to the forces placed on it. By doing so, the body may optimize to tolerate forces better when running in his or her own typical running style. Now, when trying to change one's running form, this will ultimately change the way forces are distributed through the body. This could be in ways that it is not used to, therefore, may not necessarily be beneficial to do. Just to clarify, I'm not saying that changing one's running mechanics is worthless, as it does have its uses, especially when there may be limited capacity or tolerance to loading through a certain area, such as after an injury, though this is something we can further explore later. Anyway, what I am saying is that changing running form is not what most people typically need to focus on. However, there are other things that pay more attention to, and to be honest, these are things that are so ordinary that they typically get overlooked. One is sleep. I am not going to go on a long rant on the importance of it, as there are plenty of articles and videos that talk about it. But yes, it is one of the most important things to consider. Sleep is literally meant to help your body recover physically and mentally. By allowing recovery physically, this may allow the body to handle forces placed on it better when running. Also, by allowing yourself to recover mentally, this may help keep you from making poor decisions that may increase your risk of injury. Number 2 is hydration. This involves both taking in water as well as some electrolytes, because both of these things are depleted as you run. Keeping yourself hydrated may help reduce muscle fatigue and help dissipate heat so you don't overheat. Making sure you take regular intervals of water is essential to keep you healthy and perform at your best. Another thing to consider is diet. Now, I'm also not going to go into detail and talk about a specific diet plan to follow, because I know there are plenty of diets and fads out there. And guess what? Plenty of them work. Just remember that the best diet plan is the one that you can actually stick to. Now, the last thing I'll mention here is understanding load management. For a runner, this typically involves intensity, which is how hard you run, duration, which is how long each run is, and frequency, which is typically how much you run in a week. There are plenty of ways to manage this too, and it's also very individualistic. But if I were to give a general rule of thumb for this, it is to change one of these variables at a time. Changing multiple variables at once or upping one of these variables too quickly may not allow the body to adequately adapt to the loads placed on it and may lead to an increased likelihood of injury. In terms of recovery, I typically prioritize dialing these things in before changing running mechanics. And just a side note, instead of thinking of this as ways to prevent injury, just think about this as ways to improve your running performance. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'd love to hear your thoughts, as well as any questions you may have. And as always, thank you for watching.